Welcome to Dingers and Dashers. My name is Josh alongside my co host Adam. It's a great day to talk all things Caps hockey. Let's get right into it. Yeah, we took a break last week, but we're back this week, ready to talk about it. And Adam, the Washington Capitals have just defeated the Montreal Canadiens in overtime, and the Minnesota Wild were not part of the game.
I love the Minnesota Wild shout out because that's a nice puck, Josh. They were not a part
Thank
of the
you.
game, but you know who was a part of the game? Ethan Frank. Ethan Frank
Yeah.
was a big part of that game, Josh.
No, he was, and we talked. We're going to start a little bit of a tradition here. And Ethan Frank, although he didn't score the overtime winner, he got the Caps to overtime, scoring two unanswered goals in the third period. He did it for everything. He sniped one from out wide. He scored one with a deflection down low. Or no, they were actually both deflections from him. But we're going to start something that we like to call a little bit of overtime win lemonade. I'm just going to take a sip. And Adam, why don't you take the why don't you take us through exactly how the Caps were able to turn the tables in the third period?
Yeah, so anyone who didn't watch the game, Caps are down 2-0 going into the third, and they come from behind. They get their first goal in the third period. The second goal comes when the Caps pull their goalie with a minute left. They get that goal and then they finish it in overtime. I think it's just you see the confidence in the team when you get one that everybody rallies around each other. They're like we believe in ourselves, and the Caps do a really good job when they're down one late in the game and they pull the goalie even if they don't score, they're firing, Josh. I don't see a team better than the Capitals when they need a goal late in the game and they pull their goalie. They have more guys on the ice. They're always controlling that game. I don't understand why we can't do that on the power play. Like when we pull our goalie, we're dominating, but when we're a man up on the power play, we can't dominate. Doesn't make sense to me. But it was a great win for the Capitals.
In the NFL, it's always seemed to me when teams have to score a touchdown with a minute left, their offense is like so much better all of a sudden. They're making these big plays. And I think it's the same thing in hockey that all of a sudden, when there's a minute left and you play that hurry up style of offense, there's so much more production. So what I would love to see from some teams is more of a sense of urgency throughout the game. Granted, you're going to be at your most urgent when the game's coming down to the wire, a minute left, one timeout if it's football, stuff like that. But that hurry up offense seems to really work. So I think I would love to see a little bit more energy from the guys because it's not like the Caps were down 2-0 going into the third period, but our goal is coming. Like we look terrible for the first two periods, in my opinion.
Right.
Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh, but
No,
the
no, you're
the
right. It was a complete flip of the script in the third period. Complete flip.
because the first period, we're giving up shorthanded goal. Like, how are we giving up more shots than we're taking on our power plays? That really irks me. And so you get to the third period, the team's not having it. The team's not in that game. You got people like Tom Wilson who flipped the script. He's out. Justin Sordiff, who's been the bright spot, he's out. Ethan Frank steps up, and I think that Ethan Frank deserves to be reexamined as is he actually a piece of the puzzle of the future? I have always thought Ethan Frank could be on this team because he has speed that kills and he can handle that puck and he has a good shot. Coming into the season, he was written off, barely made the team. Nobody expected everything. People were saying, him, Lapierre, Milano, get them all off this team. No, Ethan Frank's the hottest cap right now. And that's on a team with Alex Ovechkin, Alexei Protas, Tom Wilson, Justin Sword. Well, Justin Sword has been hot in his own right, but Ethan Frank, who's getting paid like a league minimum $775,000 this year, he's the guy willing the Caps on.
Yeah, Ethan Frank's been dominance, and he's maybe more hot than Alex Ovechkin, who was on a 4-game goal streak, and that's saying a lot. Alex Ovechkin on a 4-game goal streak, and you're saying somebody else on the team is hotter. Ethan Frank's just on that kind of streak right now. We know he has the talent. We knew coming into the season. It's not about whether he can do it. It's not about whether he's fast enough. Not about whether he's skilled enough. It's about his confidence. Can he come through in the big moments? Can he get goals in an actual NHL game, not just show flashes here or there? Can it come consistently? And we're starting to see that. We're starting to see his confidence build. I'm seeing a new Ethan Frank that we didn't see last year, Josh. This is somebody
And
completely different, somebody who's ready to rewrite his script.
and I'm gonna tweak what you said a little bit. I think it hasn't been can he. I think we've always known that he can. He played really limited time last year, but even if you go back to his first goal that he scored in the NHL, it was a stretch pass. He burns the defender, he comes in, he makes a move, he shoots, and he scores. So to me, since the first goal, I knew he could. The question's
Yeah,
always been, will he? Exactly.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
it's will he, and it's a little bit reminiscent. Do you remember Hendrix Lapierre's preseason that he had this year?
Yes.
Sensational. Assists on every goal, everything. It dropped off. So Ethan Frank is on that same kind of hot right now. He's been hotter for more than a couple games. He started scoring some goals last month. It's carried over. I think that he's hot, but I think the most telling moments are going to be the next 5 to 10 games. Will Ethan Frank look back at the end of the season as, oh, damn, I got hot for a bit then? Or will he look back on, that was the moment that changed my career? And I pray to God that this is the moment that changed his career, because Ethan Frank, Justin Sordiff, Ryan Leonard, the Caps have a really good thing going with these rookies. Usually rookies, I feel like, struggle to get into the league. NHL's rookie class this year is amazing. And you got guys like Celebrini, or Celebrini might be is he second year at this point?
Yeah, he's not a
He's
rookie.
second year, but you have other guys like Matthew Schaefer, other guys like that. And the
Schaefer's a
Caps,
dog, by the way. Schaefer could have made Team Canada as a rookie, and nobody would have argued with you.
but
Nobody
what
would
I'll
have argued.
say, is the Caps are hanging right there with them. Ethan Frank and Justin sort of they might not be rookies in the NHL, but they're unproven and untested, and they're some of the hottest players in the NHL right now.
Yeah. No, that's so valid, Josh. And I think that's what the Caps need to use to their advantage, because right now, the guys that they have on the power play, it looks sloppy. I want to address the power play a little bit. I want to address kind of our man advantage game in general. Like when we're on the offensive, when we're in the offensive zone, stop with those lazy passes, those backhands, just no look passes, those drop offs, those dumps. I like when you dump it in, but those passes to no man's land that you're not looking when you're just dropping it off, um those lazy blackhands, stop with that. It's nonsense. It's not going to work in an NHL game. It's just fancy for show. It's not actual strategy. It's not.
Adam, I'm not gonna lie. If we talk about this for more than 2 minutes, I think I'm gonna explode and my computer is gonna go through the window. But yes, the behind the back passes, they're not working. Behind the back passes belong on top play of the night, highlight reels. They don't belong in your every play ground and pound hockey. Because sometimes it's like, oh shoot, that's a great pass from like a guy with great hands. But when like Carlson's just whipping the puck around it, and it's leading to breakaways and shorthanded goals, it's careless. And I think that goes into a little bit of the Caps special teams started to gain a little bit of momentum. And I think our penalty kill is doing okay right now. But what I want to see from the Caps on their power play is them approach it with a little bit more urgency and speed. It's four guys waiting at the blue line. Someone comes up, dumps in the puck, and we come in with no speed. They just look a little disconnected. And the Caps are such a good 5-on-5 team that the power play is the missing piece. The power play is arguably the easier play than 5-on-5. They have the
Not arguably,
it's
it
like
should be the easier play than 5-on-5.
it's
You're
like
a
it's
man
like
up.
we're s- it's like we're solving a puzzle and we filled in all the pieces in the middle that who knows, and all we have to do is the border, but we just can't figure it out, and we're putting corner pieces in the middle.
That's such a good analogy, Josh. And it's which players need to step up, which players are making these mistakes. But I don't think it's a specific player. I mean, it's all about the strategy. I think it's about working as a one unit. And on the power play, we're just not working as a collective unit. But Josh, I want to
Def
ask you a question. I want to put you on the spot here. If there were to be a player right now that you say needs to step up for the Capitals, what player would you say needs like a little bit of a curtain call? I mean, they need like a wash their face, get back into it.
Oh boy, that's a toughie because it feels like there's so many yet so few.
Yeah,
Um,
it feels like the Caps right now are just nobody's really like, people are standing out, but nobody's really standing out as like needing to step up. But I think there
yeah,
are.
I'm gonna give you one answer that I'm fully gonna back up, and then another answer that I understand a little bit more. I'll start with the one I understand. I want to see more of Rasmus Sandin. We've seen what he could do, and he looks a little Chikrin-esque. He has a shake and bake to his game. He can finagle the puck a little bit. He has some speed. He has a quick shot. I want to see more consistency. Carlson, Roy, and Chikrin, I think, have cemented themselves as like key players in Faravari. And then Sandine and TVR and Chisholm kind of to me fall into more of a wishy-washy, like, oh, are they the healthy scratch tonight? Are they going to play? Are they going to cough up the puck and screw us over kind of thing? I think Sandine could be so good. And like late game power plays when we're already up by a lot, like Carbs throws him out in the power play unit as the defenseman. Um, so I want to see a little bit more out of him, especially with Chikrin out with an injury right now. I want to see Sandine step up. But the person that I think honestly is the most glaring to me right now is Connor McMichael. And I know he did score that goal tonight in overtime, and we're gonna get into that. And that was great work from him, and he's working hard. But he's coming off a breakout season last season, and he all the momentum just kind of fell flat, and he's not finishing all of his chances. And I hate to say it because, like, who am I to judge? I can't even skate, and if I can, it's, like, under 3 miles an hour, but, like, I wanna see him working a little bit harder. I want an article to come out that Connor McMichael stays after practice to what you know what I'm saying? I can't stand it's like, it's not clicking, but he's not but to me, at least, it doesn't seem like he's, like, grinding and making this big effort. I wanna see more because we know how good he can be.
Yeah, my pick, I see where you're coming from, and my pick's gonna be a similar, reason to what you were saying, and I'm gonna go Alexei Protas. Um, I'm not satisfied with what he another player who had a breakout year last year. He was incredible, Josh. I mean, you felt like every time he had the puck, he had that rip, they had that great shot, and I just haven't really seen that from him this year. He's I feel like when he's on the ice, he's a little bit lazy, uh, whatever the word, lazy. He's a little bit, um
Casual, he's a
slower
little
with the
bit
puck,
casual.
he's a little more casual, and he doesn't I don't see that sense of urgency, that we saw last year from him. I don't see him taking as many long-range shots. I don't see him, um, putting the putting the puck in the net as much. He really isn't scoring on the level he was scoring last year, and I think that's due to his aggressiveness. It's really chilled. He's playing more, um like, I guess, defensive, he's playing more team-based, and there are guys in the team that need to play like that, but that's not Alexei Protas. I want him to step up, I want him to be a leader, I want him to be someone who scores goals, someone who's one of our better players, and I'm not seeing him step and differentiate himself. I'm not saying he's playing bad, but I wanna see him differentiate and score goals and make an effort, like, on the level he was last year.
Yeah, I agree. I will say I just looked up his stats. He has 16 goals this
Yeah,
year, which honestly surprised me. It doesn't feel like he's scored 16 goals, and his plus minus is plus 21, you know?
okay,
Obviously,
okay.
Protus is doing something right, but I agree that it doesn't feel like there's that spark that was lit under him last season, and it feels like it's a
Yeah,
little bit more reserved. I will say that casual energy, like, someone can come cross-check him across the throat, and he'll get up and laugh at them and skate off. And I think
yeah,
that on a team with the guys that we have, we also need some of that
some hotheads,
chillness, but
hotheads.
well, we have hotheads, but I'm saying the
Yeah, I
need
know.
for Protus's chill is really good. But also I agree. I agree. I want to see a little bit more spark out of him. Someone who's been sparky as of late though is Charlie Lindgren. You know, it's really easy, I think, to get lost in the shadow of an Olympian and Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson, who sure he's been getting a couple more goals than average recently, but for the most part, has been having a phenomenal season. I want to just give Charlie his flowers. I think he's been doing a great job holding it down behind LT. And for as much hate as we've dumped on him in the past for some of his performances, I really like what I'm seeing from Lindgren right now. And I think the Caps are starting to get something going with the forward unit, starting to get something going with both goaltenders involved. And I would love to see something start happening with the defense and hopefully Chikrin coming back can solve that. Adam, Tom Wilson is day to day. Justin Sort is day to day. Jacob Chikrin is, I believe, day to day. So hopefully the Caps can be back at full and
Yeah.
even strength soon.
Yeah, you're really feeling it right now because the Capitals have not been hot as of late. This was a little bit of an outlier. We ended up coming back, making that win. When we've been down, we've been down. I mean, we haven't been coming back from our from being down a goal
And
or even 2 goals, and
and so
that's something that excites me though. It excites me that we were able to do
yes,
that today.
sorry to interrupt that, but I'm just looking at January's game so far, right here over on
Yeah,
ESPN. First game of the season, we lose a close game. Then we lose a close game. We win a not close game. We lose a not close game. We win a not close game. We lose a close game. We win a close game. You know, it feels very this. what's our identity? Are we scoring a lot? Are we not going to score a lot? Do we give up a lot of goals? Do we not give up a lot of goals? I want to just see a little bit more consistency. Like even like even if the consistency is that like we're giving up a couple goals per game, I don't even know what version of the Caps is going to come out, let alone what night, let alone the period. First period, we're going to get the most caffeinated, energetic team. You would think they just had 1,000 shots of espresso in the locker room. The second period, we're going to get a team that looks like they slept for the entire intermission and haven't even woken up. And then it's going to be a 50-50 toss up, heads or tails, who we're going to get in the third period. I want to know what my team is. How can I say I'm a Caps fan? And then someone asks, like, what is Caps hockey? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that shows the potential of what the Capitals have, because they have this ability to be one of the best teams in the league, but also be one of the worst teams in the league. And if they can find that best team in the league and find it consistently, there's nothing stopping them. But then again, you don't want to get in a habit where you're more in the bottom of the league and you're finding that consistently. So it's like this like do you want to find a good like you want to find a good consistent because you don't want to have this consistent where you're giving up 3 goals a game, and that's kind of what I'm starting to see right now from the Capitals. If you want to read out some of the scores from the past couple games, we've really been giving up 3 or more goals a game. Today we gave up
I-
2 and we won the game because
Yeah.
when we give up 2 or less, we win the game, man. It's as
In
simple as that.
January, in January, we've given up 4, 3, 4, 4, 1, 3, 2.
Yeah, it's
So
not going to cut it. A- And
coming down a
and
little bit, but yeah,
I'm not
you
going to blame the goalies too. I'm not going to blame the goalies. You're not going to blame the goalies. We don't think it's the goalies' fault. Most of those goals, they're not stoppable, man. They're odd man rushes. That one today, Logan. What can he do about that? He had to defend the 2-on-1. He had to defend the backside. That and the guy just rips a
yeah,
shot right past them because he's worrying about too many
perfect shot.
things.
It was a perfect shot.
Perfect shot. The
But
defenseman.
yeah,
There's nobody there. We give up
my
we give it the puck up, and it's not pretty.
my immediate reaction was like, LT, what are you doing? Because I'll
Yeah,
tell, but I'll explain. So right, so LT's here. He's coming. He's right here in the goal. The goal's right here. We got a player coming flying down the alley. I guess he's left-handed, so I'll put the stick in the left hand. He's set
yeah.
up. We know he has that quick glove. He's kind of cheating a little bit over, covering up this side. I honestly think that LT's head starts to turn a little bit, focusing about that pass almost on the
He rips
shots
it under
by
the
him
arm. Under the arm, yeah,
under the arm right here. And LT wants that one back. You know, it sucks to have that
yeah.
happen. But like I just in the last 10 seconds, and LT has 1 second to think about it. He's covering up here. He's got the glove. He's got pass coming here. Is it going low, high? It goes mid. But there's too much happening on our
And
power
and and
play.
that guy's wide open, so, like,
And
he has to creep over, he has to
yeah,
be able to make that too.
it can't be. It's okay if that happens. A great team makes a great opportunity. Dude, we're on a power play. By the nature of a power play, one person on our team is open at all times. How is someone on their team going to be open?
Yep. No, it's turnovers, it's those lazy passes, it's those backhands, no man's land, we're not looking at the puck, it's those silly mistakes, and that almost cost us in that game. Glad the Caps won it. Don't wanna be too hard on the Caps because they did come out with the win
I
today,
was gonna
and
say, yeah.
yeah,
I just think it's important. Adam and I last year had an English teacher who was a great English teacher, but every single time you did well in an assignment, your feedback was really nitpicky and like this was, but you fixed this as this. And every time you didn't do so well in a writing assignment, it was very broad. Like, you did okay, but here's what you should improve on. I think that's kind of what's happening right now with our analysis of the Caps. It's like
yeah.
you won, so here's each thing that needs to be better. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of things that suck,
I like that
oh
transition,
boy,
Josh. I love it, yeah.
the
I know where you're going with this, go ahead.
what's happening with the Olympics right now, Adam?
Is this gonna happen, Josh? Because if this happens the way it is, there's gonna be some angry NHL players, man. Angry NHL players. Just
Angry
to fill you guys
fans.
angry fans too, just to fill you guys in, a lot of people know the Olympic rink, in Italy, it was delayed a lot, and the construction, like, it was not happening well, and they just got it done. The ice is ready, So they had this Italian league. They had some games there this past weekend, to test it out, to test out the ice, test out the facilities, and the facilities flat out suck. The ice they said was
Bad,
okay, and it's
bad.
playable, but, I mean, the arena was completely not done yet. The locker rooms, I mean, were terrible. There's images, there's videos. It was terrible. The bleachers are not good. Not it's not Olympic ready. The ice, I don't care if it's ready. You can't have an Olympics the way the arena is right now, and something needs to happen because there needs to be hockey Olympics. If that doesn't happen, man, there's gonna be some angry people, especially us.
Yeah, I think that the Olympics, it's kinda one of those cases where it's like, "Oh, will it happen or not? Will it happen?" Like, it's the Olympics. If it's not
Seriously.
ready, what's gonna happen? And I wanna give a little bit of a shout out. I've been on my phone for a second here trying to figure out how Instagram works. I wanna give a big shout out to Timmy_takes on Instagram. He just did a great review,
Oh,
of,
yeah, Timmy takes, yep, yep.
of what's happening with the locker rooms. Like, that's what the Olympic locker room looks like. Just like that's for the best in the world. Even just the Capital One Arena locker room is like millions of dollars better than that. And I understand like the locker room's not going to be state of the art, but it can't be a bench that they found like in a pool locker room and a hook they bought from IKEA.eu because they're in Europe.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I mean, it these players, I mean, every single player is coming from these high state facilities. These fans, I mean, you're paying this much money for like a great experience, and the players are going to be upset. The fans are going to be upset because what they're watching isn't going to be as high quality if the players aren't happy. The point of the Olympics, the point of all the money they're spending is to make the players happy so that they get good action, they get good entertainment. You pay the money so that everybody's happy, everybody wants to make this high level entertainment. And if you're making this bare minimum, you're paying the bare minimum, you're giving the players the bare minimum, you're giving the staff the bare minimum, they're not going to play to the high level standards that should be in the Olympics.
And also, like, hockey right now should be so, like, culturally prominent. Coming off the Four Nations last year, which was an insane
Oh,
success,
yeah.
like, there's so much anthems are being booed. We're going to overtime. US Canada finals. What's happening? But the focus right now isn't even on the hockey. It's about will there even be hockey because of the construction, because of the facilities. So I think it's a disservice to the players, to the fans. There's 2,000 fewer seats than they thought there would be, and just to the sport in general.
That's poopy, Josh.
It's poop.
2000 season, yeah, it's poopy.
Poopy.
Something that was, a little poopy on the ice, but entertainment for the fans. In a Hershey Bears AHL game, Josh, there was a mites on ice fight. If you guys don't know what mites on ice is, it's, these, like, 10-year-olds, they play during intermission at hockey games. They do it for the NHL too. So it's an AHL game, and these 10-year-olds got into a brawl, Josh, and this scrap went all over Instagram, all over the internet. People were like, the goalies were fighting each other. I mean, the players were running at each other, punching. This was like an insane brawl, something you don't see in NHL games, let alone a mites on ice game. And it
Yeah.
turns out that this was scripted, Josh. You want to talk a little bit about that? This fight was actually scripted.
Yeah. Like legally, it's like, okay, don't do that. What are we doing? Right now, there's like some investigation happening within that junior league about what exactly happened. And they've like said they're not going to really comment until they have a concrete investigation done. There are safety risks involved. But I mean, when I watched it, when it came up my Instagram feed, I was laughing hysterically. Like
Oh, hilarious.
I couldn't drink the water that I was holding in the glass because it was so fun. Because like it's just like these kids fighting each other outrageously, and it's not serious fighting. They're messing around on the
Yeah.
ice, and so this is the kind of thing that probably flies at practice. But maybe when the league gets blown up on Instagram, like oh this is happening, maybe that's when it raises some red flags.
Yeah, I think it was kind of silly, a little bit stupid by the coaches. Like, if it's scripted, the players aren't doing this on their own. The coaches definitely had something to do with it. And I think that's what the league and the people are like they're looking into. That the coaches, the people in charge of the teams, like they had something to do with this. And it's just silly. Like you're gonna get in trouble. Like, why are you doing it on the biggest stage? Like you're just trying to get
It
viewership. Like what are you not gonna get anything out of this? I mean, I guess it's fun. Like it was silly. It was fun to watch. Like the fans
it
had
was
they had a great time, but, like,
yeah.
really, like, it's kind of just dumb.
it was dumb and stupid, but at the same time, it's like when these kids grow up, they're gonna remember the time they went to an AHL game and got to fight each other on the ice. So honestly, like, yeah, I
Pretty
understand. I
cool,
hope,
yeah.
hopefully nobody like ever gets hurt from these kinds of things, but it's also, you're playing hockey, you're playing contact sport. You could take a little tumble to the ice.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool memory though, to be honest. I mean,
Like,
you're
that's just
playing with
gotta be
yeah,
amazing.
you're
And
telling your
and
kids, yeah, you're at a Hershey Bears game with your kids later on. You're like, I actually got into a scrap on the ice. You want to see the video? And they pull up the video, and
yeah, and
their
you go to
dad's just
Instagram.
fighting some guy on the ice. It's insane.
Exactly, it's like they're that's the dream, right? You want if you're a hockey I can't even find words right now, gosh, but I feel like that's the dream. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the hockey episode. The Caps' next game is going to be Thursday night against the San Jose Sharks, I believe. I'm sure Michael, one of our good day one fans, will let me know if I'm wrong about that. He's corrected me about a couple series in the past, including the home and home series against the Devils over
Yeah,
my
we are playing the Sharks on Thursday,
all
Josh.
right, we're
Just
playing the Sharks, so we got it right here on Dingers and Dashers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna hit you guys with some sweet content that isn't just episodes coming very, very soon. We've got some interviews to post. We've got some reaction videos coming your way, so stay tuned for those. We love you all so much. I've been Josh. That one's Adam, and this has been Dingers and Dashers Hockey.